Where's my birdie? I see death coming on my right side of the radar. I see death.
You're just sitting here.
Hi, it's About1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. And today I've got some piracy with the boys. That opening clip was Meta Orange saying hello to Noxy, or as he's otherwise known in the Dark Marauders, have you done your engineering yet, Noxy? Noxy doesn't play with us very often. He plays with us so little he hasn't even got a title card, bless him. And he still hasn't done his engineering. He never will do. He hardly ever plays, and when he does, he just wants to have fun and chill out. So I'm not going to give him too much stick for not doing his engineering. He'd come out and enjoy piracy with us. Evident Knight was doing trade runs out of Maralaja and donated us 50 tons so he could get a 24-hour pass and go freely backwards and forwards unmolested. He's learning. He did try and negotiate for a 48-hour pass, but yeah, we don't do those. 24 hours is the most you get out of us. And to be fair, if you get a 24-hour pass in Maralaja, that means you're going to be, completing a lot of 50mm wing missions off completely unmolested. So, one little trip to just drop us some cargo off, and then you're free to go backwards and forwards safely. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal, to be honest. And it was quite fun. It was the most tonnage that Nox's got on the scoreboard ever. So that was fun. And yeah, we had a wonderful time pirating up at Maralaja. We've done some piracy in Seoul. The last clip in this sequence is unbelievable, and I still have lessons to learn as a pirate, because I must admit, when I see certain ships, I am way too lazy and complacent, and I don't scan everybody. You'd think I'd learn after the incident where Panda flew around me with tonnage of cargo in an FDL all evening just to prove a point. But yeah, I see certain ships and I sometimes let them go. And Meta Orange luckily was with me on this occasion and went, no, scan that guy, he's got cargo. And I did, and boy did he have cargo. It wasn't just the cargo, it wasn't the amount, but it was what cargo he had. It was highly joyous. But, as pirates, we are still getting it done in this game. We are still getting piracy done. We're still meeting enough commanders that we're getting piracy done. We're still having enough encounters with random people to do piracy with, which is great. We're also meeting a lot of new commanders and fairly newish guys, and sometimes you gotta be quite gentle. In this case, we met a guy. We pirated him twice, but he was in a shieldless cutter, and we actually found out he was running with no rebuy on a shieldless cutter in Maralaja. So he's very lucky that we came across him and not a bunch of gankers, because let's face it, a lot of groups would have just killed him outright for flying a shieldless cutter in and out of Maralaja. We, on the other hand, just robbed him. But like I say, we found out that he was flying with no rebuy. So I kind of feel sorry for him in one way, but I also you're flying incredibly greedy in a shieldless cutter with no rebuy. Your pursuit in money is impressive, but it's a bit dim. Just take it easy, take your foot off the pedal, stop trying to race through the game, get some engineering done, enjoy the small ships, fly a Type 7 for a while. This perpetual rush to get bigger and better, you could quite easily, instead of that, afford a nice Type 9 and still have plenty of rebuy. But instead you're racing to the biggest, baddest ships, and you haven't even got the money to support the habit. It's bad. It's really bad. Don't fly without rebuy is the #1 rule in Elite Dangerous for a reason. It amazes me that I'm beating people that are new to the game now, at this stage in the game's life cycle, that are still flying without rebuy. Absolutely insane. Especially how easy it is to get money these days, and also, just don't. A shieldless cutter is not really doing you any favors. It's just massively expensive rebuy, and you're not putting any defensive stuff on it at all. So I'm not going to rip on this guy too much because he is new. We did rob him. We did get some cargo out of him. I robbed him a second time and only got 1 ton the second time. But yeah, then we found out that he was flying with no rebuy, and it kind of explains some of his behavior a little bit. But yeah, if you had rebuy, if you were in a Type 9, you'd be less panicky, and just relax. don't fly without rebuy, otherwise you could end up in the back in a sidewinder very, very easily. Always worth remembering this meme. Yeah, being super greedy and trying to fly stuff that you can't afford is just crazy to me. But yeah, I'm not going to give this guy too much stick. Then we had the Bull Dipper incident. So Bull Dipper was in his Anaconda. We interdicted him and scanned him. He had no cargo, and then he said he'd come back with cargo, and he did. He came back with 1 ton of cargo. But as you can see from the top of the screen, this is actually Nox's view of the situation. I don't know why, but my footage of this incident got lost. But basically, Bull Dipper come back with 1 ton of bromulite on board and an absolute ton of weaponry and blasted the hell out of my Cobra. But yeah, I managed to get the hatch breaker off of him. Noxie managed to grab the 1 ton, and then we escaped. I must admit, we did drop in we did drop back in again to scan him just to make sure that he didn't have any cargo on board, because it was like, it's a big Anaconda, but he had 1 ton, and we got it. So in terms of piracy, it was a success. I think Bull Dipper got what he wanted out of the incident, which was to just blast me for a while. Yeah, my shieldless Cobra Mark IV was getting absolutely torn apart by his Anaconda. I went silent running for a bit and survived and just toughed it out long enough for Noxie to drop in and scoop up the cargo, and then we made our escape. We often get this when we interact with people, that they want to come back and like attack us or like try and lure us into a trap, but we're quite happy to take the 1 ton of cargo and run away. As soon as we get the cargo, that's successful piracy as far as we're concerned. And thanks very much to Noxie for his footage of this. I don't know what happened. I swear I recorded this incident and then I didn't have the footage for it, so very weird. But yeah, and I do love the fact we all navlocked to each other and all jumped out and dropped back in again and had to jump out again. But like I said, I think Bull Dipper got what he wanted out of the incident. He managed to get to shoot at us freely for a bit. He absolutely shredded my Cobra Mark IV with that Anaconda. And yeah, then we had this guy. Now, I saw him on the scanner and said, oh look, it's a Faz, he'll have no cargo. And Met was like, no, he'll probably have cargo, scan him, scan him. And boy was Met right. Look at that.
That makes a refreshing change.
Yeah, you really don't expect rare goods like that when you're pirating Soul, and like, just to get hold of a stolen Hutton mug is just one of those things to tick off the bucket list for me. Meta goes up to Hutton Orbital and sits there and robs people coming off the landing pad, and man does he get some salt for it. But yeah, this gentleman was not too pleased that we pirated him of these items. I don't know what he was collecting on the floor, because there's no reason to bring them into Soul, but maybe he was going around getting 1 ton of every rare good, I don't know. But unfortunately for him, he ran into some pirates, and yeah, we gleefully robbed his 2 tons of cargo and got out of there. I did thank him for it, but he didn't seem best pleased. Yeah, and yeah, this was just before Devo popped in, so yeah, we were getting piracy done in between people dropping in and fighting us. We had a lot of visitors later on this evening, and actually ended up having a lot of fights rather than getting a lot of piracy done. And during the fighting, we did miss out on some more piracy that we could have got done. So yeah, all in all, we've been getting it done as Dark Marauders lately. We've been fighting, we've been pirating, we've been having fun, we've been taking the mick, winding each other up, doing what we love to do. Oh, and shooting Noxie and telling him off for not doing his engineering. So all of the things that we love doing, we've ticked off all the boxes, and we've still been having fun with the legacy version of this game. And thanks to this guy for the message, it made my night. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.